remember your first day in service?
My first day in the service?
Yep.
Yeah, I was in the, I went to Salt Lake City to join the Navy. Didn't send me down to boot camp right away. Kept me there in Salt Lake City for 3 or 4 days till they got a bunch, and then sent us all down at the same time. So my first day in the Navy was messing around in Salt Lake City with nothing to do. Yeah, but then we went down to San Diego to boot camp, and we got there, and people would drive by in trucks and yell, "You'll be sorry! You'll be sorry!" I don't know why they thought that. Maybe they were sorry, I don't know. That was my introduction to the Navy. Oh, and then pretty soon somebody came by, I don't know who he was. He said, "Have you had chow?" Chow? What's chow? Oh, that's what you eat. That means have you had anything to eat? So we said no, so they sent us over to a mess hall somewhere, and they fed us.
What was one of the first experiences you had in boot camp?
Marching up and down again. They figured we had to learn how to march. So they put us out there on what they called the grinder, which was the paved area there, and somebody with a little horn of some sort, when he'd yell out a command and then blow the little horn when we were supposed to execute the command, and then chew us out if we didn't do it right.
What were your instructors like?
Difficult.
How did you get through basic training?
I just survived for 5 weeks, and then they decided that was all a boot camp, so from there they sent me to Chicago. First thing I did was KP, although they don't think they called it KP in the Navy. I forget what they called it. Mess cooking, that's what they called it. Anyway, I was there to serve food and clean up and things like that, for 2 or 3 weeks. And then they started me in class to learn how to be an aviation machinist mate. Now, that's a Navy name for an aircraft mechanic. They don't have mechanics in the Navy, they have machinist mates. So that's what I was learning how to be, was an aviation machinist mate. And I was given when we finished boot camp, not boot camp, but finished this first school at Navy Pier in Chicago, I was awarded the classification or the rank of Aviation Machinist Mate 3rd Class. And I went to a class, this was Class A school at Navy Pier. And then I went to the Chicago Vocational School at 87th and Anthony in Chicago for a Class B school. And when I got out from there, I was awarded the rank of Aviation Machinist Mate 2nd Class. And that was the rank I held till I got out of the Navy. Actually, rating is not a rank. Officers have rank. Enlisted men have ratings. At least that's the way it is in the Navy. It was when I was in. Things have changed a bit since then, but that's the rating I had when then by the way, I got 30 days leave, and so your grandmother and I got on the train and took the train from Chicago to Salt Lake City, or to Ogden, really, where my parents were living at the time. And then a couple of days later, they took us to Salt Lake City to the temple where we got married. And then after spending some time there, we went back to Chicago, and I took the train from there down to Norfolk, Virginia, to wait for my ship to come in.